Yo YouTube, this is Orange73. In today's video we're going to be looking at changing the controller on the Super73 ZG. The original controller's not very configurable and it's hard to modify. We're going to change that by replacing it with a completely different one. More power, more top speed, more configurability. Let's get right into it. First things first, let's disconnect the battery and the motor and make sure everything's safe for us to work on the bike. Okay, that's done, so let's have a look at what we got. A big tangle of wires, look at this. What you're actually seeing is all the components that we need to upgrade the bike. I'm going to go through all of these components and why you need them, and I'll also put links in the description below. There is a lot of wires and they can be confusing, so we're going to help you find out which are the right ones to buy and make sure you don't get the wrong ones. Okay, so first off we're going to look at the controller. This is a KT22A. I'm not going to give you the name of the manufacturer because there might be children listening. I will give you links below though. When you're buying your controller, make sure you get the one with the right connectors. These are called JULET or high-go connectors and they're waterproof. You'll often find on eBay that there is options for different connectors as well. Okay, so that's the controller. Next up, we're going to have a quick look at the LCD. This is a matching LCD 8 that's got the little controller buttons with it. It's a colour screen, and like the other stuff, it comes with optional different connectors. So you want the waterproof connectors, although some of them actually come with both waterproof and normal connectors that you connect together like on this picture. Notice it's got a USB mobile charge port. Yeah, make sure you get the one with the waterproof connector, the little green one there. I think my screen needs a little cleaning. Okay, we put that there for a second. What else have we got? Next up, we've got the brake levers. Oh, they're tangled. Yep, these brake levers. They look almost identical to the ones that came with the bike, but they've got different connectors on them. Here's the measurements if you need them, but I trust this picture that says that the grip is long enough. And you get two, obviously. I didn't like the little silver thing, so I swapped that out when I put mine on, but you'll see that in a bit. What you will find is that they make you look like really good bikers, look. And make sure you do get the ones with the yellow 3-pin connector. This is called a JULET connector, and it's waterproof. And also makes you very fashionable. Okay, so they're the brake levers. What else have we got? You can see this is the thumb throttle. Again, this has got the 3-pin yellow connector, which is waterproof, the JULET connector. There are other connections available for this as well, so make sure you get this one right too. Okay, so next up we've got the 9-pin power lead that goes from the controller to the motor. This is quite a long one because it has to wrap around your frame. This will plug directly into your motor using the 9-pin male connector. The other end we've got a route back towards the controller somehow via the frame. You'll notice that when you buy them they come with a little protective cap, that's nice. By the way, all of these leads are marked on the connectors. You'll see little arrows that when you try and connect them up, you should make the arrows point to each other. So you can see the arrow at the top here. And when you try to connect this connection to the motor, let me leave the bike here. When you try to connect this to the motor, make sure that you line those arrows up. One arrow there, and one arrow there. Yep, there you go, connected. There you go. And now we've got the motor connected up to the controller, we can connect up the battery as well. We're just going to use these Anderson power pole connectors to connect in. They plug straight in, and we should be able to turn the battery on. And now if we try and power up the controller, we should see oh indeed, there's our new controller powered up. Now, in theory, if I just put that screen somewhere safe, and I pick up this. Oh, no, there's the PAS controller. I forgot to tell you about this. Okay, this is a KT22A PAS sensor. These sometimes come in pairs, but we only need one side on ours, and it's the left side. And you can measure it if you like. Okay, let's give this a little test then. It's not likely to work with the PAS controller, but that's because there is a lot more settings that we require to do to get the PAS controller working. Not to worry, we think that the PAS controller takes a lot more setup than the throttle controller does. So let's try with the throttle then. So yeah, we'll just make sure that the controller's in the right spot, and then we're going to lift that back wheel up before we try the throttle out, so that we don't launch the bike. Yeah, you can see that the back wheel is spinning up perfectly there. So the controller is working. Okay, let's start fitting it then. First of all, let's remove all of the old controller. I'm going to speed this up a little bit because you don't need to see me screwing about like this. But basically, I'll take out all of the screws from underneath the controller. And then the controller can pretty much be lifted out, only it's got loads of wires that connect it up, and you've got to make sure you pop all of those out as well. So you can see me going at it with the screwdriver to get the grommets out here, and I'm going to pull those cables through and disconnect everything, and as you can see, the controller's becoming more and more free. Just in time for my neighbour to cut their hedge. Okay, so while you were away there, I just took off the grips, and I'm just going to undo some of these wires so that I can remove all of the other bits that we don't need. Notice that these are the brake connectors, and they're the old 2-pin red JULET style ones, not the yellow ones like we use, not the blue ones, not the green ones. On our 1-to-4 loom, our brake connectors are yellow 3-pin connectors, which is why we're having to swap those brake levers out. So these are the old ones coming off. The old display uses the same connector as the new display, but the new display's got a lot more information on it than those 5 little bars that we have on the ZG display. So next up, I'm going to try and take off this handlebar grip. We usually do this using an air duster by sticking the pipe up there and spraying air underneath it. I was going to show you me doing this, but your man there came back with his hedge trimmer. Alright, I think he's done now. So here you can see me removing the black brake adjuster from the original brake levers. I'm doing that so that I can put the black one on the new one rather than have the silver ones on them. There you go, slot straight in. And as you can see, this lever, this new lever, has got the yellow connector. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to take all of those bits off the handlebar now. As you can see, they're almost identical, except for that connector. So let's slide the new one in place. Oh yeah? Got to take that other thing off first. Just lining all that up to pull the cable through. There you go. Yeah, let's get that taken off now. Why can I never find the right one first time? Right, that's it, it's off. In the box with the other stuff. What else have we got in here? I've also got some headlamp controls from a motorbike that I bought off eBay. I'm not going to go into the details of all these yet. I'll do another video on these some other point because they've got some quite intricate wiring and I'm not really sure about them yet. But I'm just trying to make sure that I've got everything on the handlebars while I'm fitting everything back together again. So as you can see, I've got my horn and my headlamp switches put on there as well. Okay, moving on, we've got the controller here. I'm just going to make sure I unplug everything before I start on that, so that I can reroute all of the wires through the frame. I need this to sit inside the box of the bike properly. I use this connector here to connect to the batteries. Obviously the original screw holes won't work from the controller that was in there, and so instead I'm going to use these double-sided 3M stickies. They're a little bit too big, so I'm going to have to trim them to make them fit, but hopefully they'll be alright. Just using the bit of cardboard box as a back for them, and then going at them with a razor. You can see me cutting strips off them there. And we can use these strips to hold the controller in place for us. Oh, that one's a little bit out of shape. Let me see if I can... just trim that back a little bit there, look. Okay, now if we peel these bits off, we should be able to jam that controller in place and it should stay where it needs to stay. Just quickly make sure it's in the right spot. As you can see, it's different size from the original one, so it leaves a small gap behind. After making this video, I filled that gap using just a little piece of plastic, using some of those double-sided 3M stickies again. What else do we have? You see all the wires that we talked about earlier? All of these have got to be unplugged and plugged back together again, but routed through the frame. See what it looks like with the throttle in place. Screw that down now. Just going to pop that back on. Pop, 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 pop. Oh yeah. So everything looks like it's in reach, which is nice. Here we've got the mounting unit for the LCD screen. As you can see, it's originally designed to fit scaffolding poles, but it comes with these little plastic bits that allow it to fit on normal bike handlebars. Let's start by taking these screws out. Putting the little plastic bits in. Next, I'm going to attach the LCD 8 screen. And fit that up to the handlebars. As you can see, I've got the PAS controller there. That's the power lead that goes to the motor. And that's the 4-in-1 connectors. These have all got to be routed through the bike, which is why they're currently disconnected. Just going to get that other brake lever fitted. You can see I've already put the control for the LCD on the handlebars there. So really at this point I'm just deciding where all the cables will go and which way to run them, and making sure we've got enough slack in all of the cables. I will tidy everything up in a short while. Don't forget arrow to arrow. Just connecting up the motor there. Arrow to arrow. You can see those wires are all over the place, but everything seems to be working, so we can tuck them all in. Now we've run the cables, I'm just plugging them in again. So now a couple of tie wraps should be able to tuck all of that away. Next we're going to look at this power assist sensor. It's tucked in all the way underneath the bottom of the frame there. You can see me feeling it out. I'll have to pull all of those out in a little while. Yeah, let's pop this bad boy on as well. Pop, 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 pop. Should do it. Let's just adjust these. Okay, brake in the right place. Just going to tie these up with a tie wrap. Make sure everything's tidy. It's quite a bundle there, but you'll see that I'm going to hide all that up fairly soon. And then I can just slide my seat back on.
One eternity later.
This part of the video I recorded about a month later than the rest of it. And you can see what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take off this crank. I've got one of those Park Tool crank pullers. It said it's supposed to be really good because it's got a long handle, so it's easy to use. Of course, if your crank's only 125mm long, then it's too long for you, so you have to take your pedal off. There she goes. And just twisting this and then pulling against the crank. Get them guns going. Squeeze! Any second now, that's just going to pop right off. There she goes. Don't need that. Now the original PAS unit can just pull straight off like that. And we're going to slide the new one in its place. We've just got to pop these little tie wraps off. Come on. I've speeded this bit up so you don't get bored. You're probably still getting bored. There you go, the original one will pull through. I'll keep my replacement one under here. In that time that I mentioned, that 1 month between the original video and this, you can see that I've used Velcro to hold down my seat. Because, to be honest, I was getting sick of undoing them screws. Okay, so now we're just going to slide the wire for the new PAS controller into the frame. And once we've got that in the right position, we'll put the PAS controller onto the crankshaft. It really does just slot in, no hard work at all there. Once we pull the wire through the right way, we can work on tying it down with the tie wraps. I had to turn my bike on the side for this. I'll speed through it. Should be pretty obvious where all of the tie wraps should go because they've got mounting lugs. Next, you've got to route the cable up between the disc and the frame. Again, there's mounting points all the way up for this, so it's not too tricky. As you can see, I did it the wrong way, and then I've shown you the right way. So another cable tie, tuck it in up there. And you can plug in the extension cable. Did I forget to tell you about the extension cable? Oh no. Just a simple 3-pin male to female JULET cable. And you pull it all the way up through here. Back through the hole that you broke open before. Tie wrap it in. And then at the top, connect it up to the controller. Tuck everything in. Let's have a quick look round, see everything's tidy. Snip. 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 Okay, is it all tidy? Ah, missed one. Now we're tidy. Last couple of things then. Let's get this crank back on. I'm just going to use the handle for this tool to stop me smacking the crank itself and chipping the paint. Crank's on fine. Oh, one little tap there. Make sure it's all screwed in. Now we can screw the pedal back on. Make sure you do this the right way. Remember, they go different directions. There you go. I've sent it the wrong direction. I'm sending it back. All the tools away in the box. Put the lid back on. Yep, we're away. Pedal assist all working. Watch out for the follow-up video that's got all the settings that you're going to need for the controller.